Hello, good morning. Our first issue is rise in the COVID cases. Recently, WHO has warned various countries, including India, with regard to Delta variant of COVID virus. As of now, 10% of total Indian population is fully vaccinated. Rise in the number of Delta and Delta plus variant cases is a concern now. That's why slowly the number of cases are increasing. In this context, Center has advised the states to conduct state level sero surveys and district level disease prevalence data needs to be calculated. What happens if we do that? We can understand the immunity levels among the communities. That's how we can take up the precautionary measures. Genome sequencing for identifying new variants, these measures have to be taken up. Next issue is study of Earth's magnetic field. Solar storms they travel at very high speeds, but to reach the Earth's surface, it takes up to 48 hours because of this protective shield known as magnetic field around the Earth. These solar storms they can potentially disturb the satellite system which will affect the telecommunication system. In this context, slowly the geomagnetic fields are changing. The changing geomagnetic field it can affect the navigation satellite system. USA's navigation satellite system is GPS. As of now, in many countries we are using GPS, so it can affect this. Effect of GPS can lead to negative impacts on many things, including on the modern travel and tectonic activity on the earth that also leads to slight changes in the earth's rotational movement. This can lead to earth's magnetic field. And there are other things, let's say heavy dams they also can result in slight change in the magnetic field. That's why study of magnetic field and their changing nature is important for us because this can impact the solar storms. That's why. Next issue is Sri Lanka and India relationship. Restoring the ties between Sri Lanka and India. Recently, Sri Lanka has cancelled East Container Terminal Port, and then Sri Lanka is moving closer to China, which is a strategic issue for India. In this context, both the countries are trying to reset the ties. We have fishermen issue, which is contentious issue between the two countries, building connectivity, trade and investment, promoting the religious links. Through these measures, we want to rebuild the relationship, India-Sri Lanka relationship. Next issue is Assam-Nagaland border deal. Recently, chief secretaries of both the states they signed an agreement to de-escalate. That means to reduce the tensions in the two locations. One is Desoi Valley Forest, or known as Surangkong Valley. They want to simultaneously withdraw the security forces in the next 24 hours. Nagaland, Assam, they both share the border and they are going to monitor the border area using drones and satellite images, and they want to maintain the status quo. Recently, Assam and Meghalaya, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam has border disputes with all these states. So that's why slowly in the northeastern region border peace is important. For that, Nagaland and Assam made this particular deal. Next issue is India's UNSC non-permanent term. India was elected as non-permanent member last year. It is going to take up the membership from this year 2021 to 2022 because non-permanent member term is 2 years. UNSC has two kinds of membership. One is permanent membership, second one is non-permanent membership. We have 10 non-permanent members in UNSC. India is going to be one among them. India said we have three priorities as UNSC member. One is maritime security, two is fighting for counter-terrorism and peacekeeping. These three are India's major priority areas as UNSC member. Next issue is railways deployed satellite-based clocks. Indian railways are now replacing the analog clock system with the satellite-based GPS clocks. This will enable the precision coordination. These officers, control coordinators, let's say station masters, loco pilots, other staff, they involve in the train operations. So for uniformity of timing, this kind of satellite-based clock system is replaced with the replaced, and analog clocks are replaced with the digital clocks using satellite support systems. In Hyderabad, today is a busy day because of Bonalu festival. So there's slight disturbance in this video. Please bear for today. Next issue is rise in global hunger hotspots. Food and Agricultural Organization and World Food Program, they mentioned that hunger is expected to rise in the 23 global hotspots in the next 3 months, especially Ethiopia, southern Madagascar, Yemen, South Sudan, Nigeria. These are some of the conflict areas. In these areas, hunger is going to be biggest problem. That's why FAO and the World Food Program, they have asked the government to take the suitable measures so as to reduce the hunger related famine deaths. Next issue is study of interior of the Mars. We have InSight mission. It's a rover system sent by NASA. It has studied the Mars quakes. On Earth, we have earthquakes. On Mars, it has Mars quakes. Mars quakes were studied. Based on that, we tried to understand the interior of the Mars. Crust, that is the upper layer of the Mars, it has radioactive material, and thickness wise it is less thick as compared to Earth's crust. Mantle is 400 to 6 kilometers down. It is as thick as twice of Earth, and the core of Mars is 1480 kilometers radius. It is 200 kilometers larger than what we have thought earlier. So this InSight mission has yielded this particular crucial information on the interior of the Mars. Next issue is vanishing permafrost. Permafrost is an area with ground temperatures below 0 degrees for continuous 2 years. These regions are known as permafrost regions. Because of climate change, global warming, active melting is happening. This melting is leading to loss of permafrost. These permafrost regions are found in mountains as well as high latitude regions near tundra and taiga regions. These are getting melted now. When permafrost regions get melted, it leads to more methane emissions. Again, it can contribute to global warming. Next issue is herd immunity and Delta Plus variant. Recent ICMR's fourth Zero survey, it revealed that 67.6% of population in India has been affected. They have antibodies. Over 25% of people are vaccinated with one dose. But there is no guarantee that existing antibodies protect us from various types of variants. In this context, seropositive survey is not a proof for permanent protection against the fresh infection, especially for the new variants. That's why we should be careful even after taking the vaccines. Next issue, very important, end-to-end genome sequencing. Genome means complete set of genes. Human genome means entire set of DNA of the human is known as human genome. Human genome consists of all the genes. DNA is the genetic material. It is a double-stranded molecule. Each DNA is made up of 4 nucleotide bases: adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine. So every base pair is linked. A is paired with T, G is paired with C, ATGC. And each genome, that is entire human genome, consists of 3 billion base pairs, approximately. And recent study has found out that 200 million base pairs, this was the prediction earlier in 2013 when we published the draft human genome project. 200 million base pairs was the estimation, but now the latest genome sequencing has revealed that 3 billion base pairs are there in human genome. So human genome project, this was started in the year 1990s. First draft was published in 2003. Revised draft was published in 2013. Now again, the fresh study, this has revealed in 2020, this fresh study has revealed these things, 3 billion base pairs. Next issue is RBI's digital currency. RBI is planning to introduce central bank digital currency, and it has opportunities and it has several risks. Many countries, including USA, European Union, China, they are working on their own central bank digital currencies. Bahamas is the first country to launch its own central bank digital currency. Recently, El Salvador has adopted private digital currency that is known as Bitcoin. CBDC is nothing but a digital wallet, but it is supervised by the central bank. That's the difference. Now, let's say Paytm is a digital wallet. It is not supervised directly by RBI. In this case, in case of digital wallet of CBDC, it is going to be supervised by the central bank. Advantages of CBDC include cost of issuing electronic CBDC is much lower than cost of printing the currency and distributing the currency. Plus, easily central authorities can track from where the digital currency is sent to whom and what amount. Everything can be tracked, because if it is in the cash form, it cannot be tracked. If it is in the digital form, it can be easily tracked. But then the risks include mass withdrawal of the cash. Now we save the cash to use as a digital transaction. So no, we deposit the cash in the bank so that we can transact it online. Now we don't need that cash. We can transact directly in digital currency form. That means cash deposits in the banks might reduce. This can lead to less cash availability with the banks. That is one issue. That's why CBDC can be accepted as a loan. CBDC can be accepted as a deposit also. But this might lead to higher cash flow in the economy that can destabilize the inflationary conditions. Inflation and inflation control would be difficult. That's why RBI is looking for various alternative models in introducing the CBDC. Next issue is right to repair. Recently, US Federal Trade Commission has voted to push for right to consumers repair of their electronic devices. Let's say if we buy phone, we don't get the components. Let's say some repair has happened after a few months. What if we don't get the spare parts? We have to buy the new one again. That means we don't have any choice to repair. So in this context, our consumer choices are being limited. So that's why in many countries, right to repair movement started in European Union, USA. That means these technology companies, when they sell a component electronic product, they have to sell the electronic components also for repairs, etc. Consumers have the right to repair. But technology companies says if we make the components available freely, that might endanger the safety of the product. But if we look at some of the electronic products, their spare parts are available, the safety is not compromised. So in this context, right to repair is the movement that is going forward. Next issue is Dholavira. Dholavira is the Harappan city. It is the first Indus city in India that received the World Heritage tag. It is the 40th World Heritage Site in India. It is discovered in 1968 by Archaeological Survey of India led by J.P. Joshi. This site dates back to 3000 BC Common Era to 1500 BCE. It covers nearly 1500 years of continuous habitation. This city has had trade with Mesopotamia, Iraq region and Oman Peninsula. And the speciality of this particular Harappan city is its water management system. It has well-built drains and network of canals. Cascading system of reservoirs are present in this particular region. This is located in Gujarat's Kutch region, which is water deficient region. That's why this kind of water system was built. Excavations have unearthed the shells, copper, stone, semi-precious stones, gold and terracotta objects were obtained from the excavations. So, and then memorials for the dead. That has been one of the striking features of Dholavira. This is important for prelims. These are today's articles. Thank you very much. All the very best.